Raptors beat the Cavs by a score of 110-99. The Raptors are now 13-5, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are now 12-7. That's good for the Raptors to be the number 2 seed, and Cleveland is now the number 4 seed. But in this game, Mamu, according to Penn, the best player on the Raptors, had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Brandon Ingram, 37 points, 7 rebounds. Scotty Barnes, 18 points and 11 rebounds. As for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell didn't really have his best game.
He had a bad game last night. He had a bad game shooting.
He had a couple bad games this week. I mean, within the last couple of weeks. Too.
Really? Are you serious? I mean, so you forget about the 37 that he had a couple of nights ago, and the 32 that he had the night before that, and the 35 that he had the night before that. What are you talking about, Jordan? I know how you feel about
it. But life hits you different when you go up against top 10 defense, though, Cho. Life hits you different when you go up against top 10 defense.
He had a not great game against Houston. Yeah, that was about a week ago.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
I think Jacoby did a great job on him. I think Scotty did a great job helping out. Yeah. I think Ochai.
He had another bad game before that too, though, Mars. Right?
We just got a lot of long switchable defenders.
The Raptors,
the other time they lost to the Raptors. Yeah.
Penn, I think the difference in that
he struggled against Toronto both times. I think they played each other twice.
Yep,
3 times. No, actually 3 times.
But Donovan Mitchell
played I think he missed.
I don't know if Donovan Mitchell played that.
I think he missed one of those 3 games. Yeah. However, but Penn, I think the difference in that game last night was how you guys attacked that zone. Brandon Ingram in particular, when he was at the top of the zone, when you had both when Cleveland had both Porter and Donovan Mitchell at the top of the zone, when the ball swung, he would attack Porter's side of the zone and get into the teeth of their defense. He would just shoot right over the top of them. And they didn't really have anybody to slow that down. On top of that, I thought that they did a really good job on the glass and getting second chance opportunities. I thought that was the difference in the game last night.
I agree with you. I think Scotty was very instrumental at key points of the game in terms of changing the dynamics of the game, the pace of the game. I think he was more or less our only real point guard out there other than Jamal Shed, because Emmanuel quickly was just kind of off in his own world doing his own thing, like just playing bullshit basketball. Emmanuel quickly's been playing really well, but the last couple games, he's been totally off the rails again. I think the Ingram thing, it's a little bit overrated to me. I don't think the game was as good as the box. I don't think the game.
What did I do?
I don't think the game wasn't good. No, he was fine.
You don't
he
was
get
joking.
He was joking. He was joking. That's sarcasm. No, I don't think, like, when I've seen 37-point games, there's different classes of 37-point games, 40-point games in the NBA. There's 40 points when you get it and you change the dynamics of the game. There's 40 points when you force it. And I think Ingram forced a lot yesterday. I think he over-dribbled, over-penetrated, missed open cutters all the time. That's not really how we play basketball.
But that's not his game anyway, Penn.
But it has been his game. It has been his game. Would you believe me if I told you that in terms of front court touches on the Raptors, Scotty Barnes is the leader in front court touches? Would I tell you? So he gets the ball more than Ingram in the front court. Ingram has played off of that and has been very good. Ingram is a bailout guy, right? On our team, he is the one guy who can get his shot off.
Wait a minute, rewind. 6 seconds. I want to make sure I'm following you. You told me that Ingram, he was missing cutters and he was taking a lot of.
He was making shots.
But if he's missing cutters, again, that's really not his game. I want to make sure. Right, I do want to make sure I'm following you. 37. And I did see a couple of stretches. For example, Cleveland had cut the lead. They had cut the lead down to 4 at one point. With them cutting the lead down to 4, he ended up making a 3 on the right wing, and that took the lead back up to 7. And then on top of that, you guys, I don't know how his dumb ass did this. It wasn't Porter, but the other guard that they had. He ended up pushing the guy and getting an offensive foul. Then you get the ball right back the next trip, and then you score again with Brandon Ingram being a connector. So I thought that Brandon Ingram did a lot of good things in this game yesterday.
He did do a lot of good. He did a lot of good things. He did a lot of great things there, but his game was very mixed. There were plays where I feel he over dribbled, overlooked for his shot, and there was a particular play where he sort of flagged out. He flagged out Scotty Barnes. He had an advantage. We always pitch ahead in transition. That's why we're the #1 transition team. When you over penetrate and then force the collapse and then do not pass the open cutter or open man, our offense breaks down. When guys go 3, 4, 5 trips down the court and they don't touch the ball, they're out of rhythm. Now you throwing them the ball, they're out of rhythm. That's not how we play basketball. That's not Toronto Raptors basketball. That's not what's made us successful. I know the narrative from people who don't watch the team. They're like, they added BI and everything got great. No, it's not. Brandon
What
Ingram
exactly is your brand of basketball? Because again, we got different personnel this season than we did last year.
Jordan, you're not about to school me on what the Raptors are doing.
I just want
to. Yeah, but I'm about to school you on how basketball works, because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how much you think Scotty Barnes and the Raptors are this good. They gotta adjust to fucking Brandon Ingram. Like, he not coming over there to fucking adjust to them. Like, this how y'all play. Like, no. Brandon Ingram's the best scorer. All that shit y'all used to do when y'all was trash.
How'd that work out for the Pelicans last year? How'd that work out for the Pelicans last year?
He wasn't there.
Huh?
What are you doing, yo?
He was
First of all, I don't know who you think Brandon Ingram is, or if you think I'm gonna start insulting.
He's a bucket getter. That's what he is.
Yeah,
he's a scoring.
We know about to turn Brandon Ingram's game of the season into a Brandon Ingram slander session. We're
not doing that
because Jordan acting like we fucking drafted. We got Michael Jordan up here. It ain't Michael Jordan, bro.
No,
why did y'all get Brandon Ingram to be a connector? He never been a fucking connector in his life. What did y'all get? What did y'all actively get Brandon Ingram for?
Okay, first of all, we got Brandon Ingram because he is the one player. Try to hear what I'm saying without trying to like. I'm speaking to Jordan. Like try to hear what I'm about to say without thinking about what you're going to say in response, and just try to absorb and understand that. Understand that you're talking to a person who has watched every possession of this team play twice. Okay, so just hear me out and pretend that I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that Brandon Ingram is the only player on this team that I trust with 6 seconds on the clock. But he is not the player that I trust to set up in the first 6 seconds of the clock. The Toronto Raptors last year were in a lot of close games down the stretch, and they lost those games because they didn't have players who can close out tight possessions. Brandon Ingram is a special scorer in that regard, in that he is a pull-up threat, and his greatest strength right now is that he is able to invite the double team, potentially sometimes even a triple team, and make the read out of that. He is not Luka Doncic. He is not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is not Donovan Mitchell. He is not that level of talent who can now score over double teams. But on single coverage, he is as good as any scorer in the league. On single coverage. If you put single on him, he is going to go to the basket and score every time.
He got doubled a few times last night and he scored the basketball.
Occasionally, it will work. But over the long haul, Brandon Ingram scoring pull-up jump shots over double teams has never been a successful formula, and he is not the level of talent who can do that consistently and win basketball games. Shai is, Luka is, Embiid is. There's tiers to superstardom and stardom in the NBA.
Sure.
DeMar DeRozan is not that level of scorer. Kawhi is. The gap is no. Look, if you tell me, yo, Jordan, the gap in separation here is very important here. If you tell me that we just took in 2018 Kawhi, by all means, everybody bend, cater to him. He is a very upper tier superstar. Ingram is not that. Scotty is not that. Our team dynamic works on the basis of moving the basketball and moving human beings in space.
Sure.
100%.
Jamal Shed is number 2 in the league, number 2 behind Nikola Jokic in assists per 36 minutes. And I think he turns the ball over less than Jokic. The entire offense is predicated on Scotty's ability to read the court.
Can we come to a pause really quick?
Go ahead.
Because I think you're going to the extreme about what we saying that Brandon Ingram is to the Toronto Raptors. Nobody is saying that he's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Luka. Nobody is saying that.
Cool.
I'm basically observing from what you think from the play you put up of Brandon Ingram last night, and you was like, he need to cut this bullshit out. Darko got to grow some balls and stop him. I didn't see nothing like he made a play that every basketball player would do.
But that's not our offense. I don't care if every basketball player in AAU does that. That's not who we are. We don't do that. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, the Raptors don't do that. The Raptors do not dribble 1-on-3, have an open shooter, and not make that pass. That's how the defense becomes stagnant and sets up on you. I'm going to tell you right now.
With every player in the NBA.
I don't care about every player in the NBA. That's not how we play basketball. Jordan, I don't give a fuck, bro. This is not. We're not playing American basketball.
Right, I get your point, Penn, about that's not
play.
I get your point about that's not how
a lot of plays.
Well, see, but Penn,
the motherfucker had 37 last night.
I don't care, Jordan. I don't care. I don't care about 37, 52. I don't care about these numbers. I'm not a box score merchant. I ain't no PRA merchant.
Penn, what I'm
we could have won that game 100 different ways last night. 100 different ways.
Yes, but what you're losing me
fucking game, and he had 37. What the fuck are you talking about?
You're losing me with the identity of this team offensively. Well, Why did you get Brandon Ingram? You bought Brandon Ingram in to
be a connector kill. That's why they got him.
No, they did not.
Brandon Ingram is a very good passer. Hold up. I believe that Brandon Ingram has left a lot of production on the table in the past 7 years by playing bullshit basketball. I believe that the best version of Brandon Ingram is yet to be seen. I think the best version of Brandon Ingram can be unlocked in a movement-friendly, spacing offense that is constantly shifting pieces. Grady Dick is like plus 20 on the court, off the court, because he shifts offense. Jamal Shed, Mamu, these players, these are the types of players that, quite frankly, and shout outs to Willie Green, Darko Rajakovic, 100 times better coach too. This is the type of system that can unlock the best version of Brandon Ingram. Consider what happened with Kevin Durant's game in OKC versus
with Brandon Ingram being Brandon Ingram.
Okay. Brandon Ingram is nowhere close the talent or scorer that Kevin Durant is. However, the same gap that existed, which is to say, if we can make Brandon Ingram 15% more effective, we will do that. Yeah. Now, Brandon Ingram has had a very interesting couple of games here where in the previous night, he shot 6 for 18.
Yep.
Not efficient. Earlier in the season, when he was buying into what we wanted to do, he was still scoring his 20, but he was scoring the highest 2-point percentage of his career.
Sure.
That's what we do to players. Our offense unlocks cleaner looks. You become a better basketball player when you come play with the Toronto Raptors. You unlock the best version of yourself.
They didn't fucking make the playoffs last year.
I don't care. They weren't trying to make the playoffs.
But Penn, I want.
They were not trying to make the playoffs. Jordan. They actively rested players.
But Penn, I want to stay with Penn. I want to stay. Penn, stay with me, Penn. I want to stay with where you are because, like you just said, we're unlocking.
Chill. No, we're about to lock this up and move on. Okay. And I'm throwing the key away. Shout out to the Toronto Raptors.
Join way.